New research has shown that people can make a real difference to their health by simply eating more fruit and veg and getting more exercise. A report from the Australian Institute of Health and Welfare has found that just over 90% of adults don't eat enough veg and 60% don't exercise enough, leaving them vulnerable to chronic diseases like arthritis, type 2 diabetes and depression. According to the study, almost every Australian has at least one preventable risk factor that makes it more likely they'll develop a chronic disease during their lifetime. Anne Hunt is from the AIHW and she joins me from Canberra now. So, Anne, is diet the most common risk factor that people can change and improve their health?
Diet is one of the most commonly reported risk factors, and as you said, 90% of the population are eating insufficient amounts of vegetables and 50% aren't eating sufficient fruit. However, changing your diet is not always easy, but it can be done, and it's best to do it by making small steps.
And the more risk factors you have, the more likely you are to develop one or more of these chronic conditions.
Yes, that's correct. Chronic diseases are conditions that take a long time to develop and they're rarely curable, things like diabetes and heart disease. And these chronic conditions account for 3/4 of the disease burden in Australia. And the more risk factors we have, the more likely we are of developing a chronic disease.
Were you surprised by some of your findings? You mentioned a couple there. 90% of adults don't eat enough veg, more than half don't eat enough fruit. That's surprising.
We were surprised by that. We did know that various studies had shown that we weren't eating enough fruit and vegetables, but we were surprised by the amount, 90%, so that's nearly everyone could benefit from eating more fruit and vegetables in their diet.
Do men have more of these risk factors than women?
Yes, when we looked at the study, we looked at various things. We looked at differences by gender, where people live, and by income. And one of the things we found that men tended to have more risky lifestyles. They tended to have more risk factors than females.
So just run us through the right amount of fruit and veg to eat and the beneficial level of exercise. That seems important too.
For vegetables, it's recommended that we have 5 serves a day, and a serve is roughly half a cup of cooked vegetables or a cup of salad, or 75 grams. And for fruit, that's 1 medium piece of fruit or about 150 grams. So it's like a medium apple or orange. And it's recommended that we should have half an hour of exercise on most days to get the health benefit.
Anne Hunt, thank you.
Thank you.